and let me tell you something about it. I think women should approach the men in our society. That would cut way back in rejection if they hit on us, wouldn't it?
Yep, absolutely.
Because I'm not picking with a girl's opening line. I don't care what she has to say. Whatever she wants to do, the answer is yes. You know what I mean? She doesn't have to be smooth and cool. You know, she can come walking up. Peanut butter makes me gassy. Well, pull up a chair. Back off. This babe is mine. Because our lines are the worst. The guys, we're so, are those your eyes? Or does somebody take the stars from heaven and jam them into your face or your head or something? Are your feet tired? Because mine are stinky. Wait a minute. That's not how it goes. You like the guy with a tattoo? I don't have one, but I do have a great big rash that will not go away. It's shaped exactly like Pennsylvania. Anyway, let's talk about the babes.
All right.
Babes are fun, man.
They dig
you know what? I'm a little older and still I'm a single guy. I like being single, being older, because I know the games that the women play. They play hard to get. But I see right through it. I'll go walking into a club and I'll think, look at that girl trying to get my attention by making out with that guy. I'll work my way over to you. Don't panic. Staring me down with the back of her head. I'm amazed. Seriously, I'm amazed at how far the ladies will go to make a man jealous. One girl I used to date is now married. She has 4 kids. I'm not coming back. She needs to get on with her life. Sad. Because I'm dating other girls now, man.
Good.
I dated a girl recently. She was pushy. Like, look, for the 400th time, no, I do not want a breath mint. I'm saying? I'm cooking in here. All right. I don't have time for laughs. I got a show to do.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Greg Hahn is our guest.
I went out with this one girl. Can I say this?
Yeah. Sure.
Get a load of this. I'm on a date. I was out with this girl, right? Here's what she says. It's true. She says, oh, I did something she didn't like. She goes, oh, you just lost some points. Whoa, there's points involved. That's a point system that the women have. It's a point system. Men, we don't know what's going on. All we know is it involves points, and all of a sudden, we're down. You know what I mean? I was doing my impression of her mother. She's like, oh, you just lost some points. I'm like, really? How many did I start out with? Don't ask any questions. You're just going to lose more points. Well, transfer my account to your younger sister. No, wait, it's your mom again. You're talking to a guy that can blow through a lot of points in a hurry up here, I'll tell you that. Anyway.
Yes, sir.
We just got a call from Tony, the yodeling Shetland pony. He can't be here tonight. He's a little hoarse. Come on, everybody.
Come on.
Just meet me halfway on some of this junk. A little hoarse. All right.
He's a little horse. He's a little...
I love that, man. Was that the famous Greg Hahn?
It is. And this is the famous Bob and Tom Show. Woo!
Sing it, girls.
And hello there, Tom.
Chick.
How's things over there?
Good. I'm just,
Now, is that the same time zone?
yeah, we're kind
Okay.
of far away. This is the social separating.
Yes, sir. Christy Lee
Oh, hi.
from the newsroom.
How are you?
It's not just any newsroom. It's the Navy Federal Credit Newsroom, and it's
That's right.
she's encased in glass.
Yeah.
Christy under glass.
Also encased in glass, much like Lennon in his tomb. It's Pat Godwin.
Still alive.
Yeah, but his nose doesn't fall off every
good
6
point.
months.
Who would have thought that would be a problem?
Yeah,
Well, the
no
nose is
joke.
going to rot.
Right.
Yeah, apparently when they wanted to do it to Mao, they had to consult the Russians.
Yeah.
It's not working real well.
Nope.
And there's Ace Cosby, and that's it. Thanks, everybody.
That's our show.
Yeah, I'm here too.
It's Josh Arnold.
Hi,
and
buddy.
Hey.
Very nice play. Do you just I know I'm not going to complain because I wear the same clothes all the time too, but you seem to be wearing just a series of shades of the exact same shirt.
They're close. They're all the same brand. Yeah, I'm very Carhartt loyal, and they're so yeah, I just buy whatever comes out new each year from them.
There are blues and reds. And
Yeah.
I think
grays.
blue brings out the best in you. I think.
No, thank you. Yeah, blue is my color.
Yeah, so I
what
guess-
color are your eyes?
You're a winter?
Brown.
Brown, like a deep dark.
Is it? Yeah, a winter.
Yeah.
Maybe right now we should go online, have our colors done. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think about that? I bet I'm olive-y-ish.
Okay.
What do you think? Is that a fall?
I have no
Probably.
idea.
Yeah, it's a fall.
Coming up, we have some fascinating things in the news. I don't know, including something that may brighten your day during these quarantine times.
Well,
Right.
it can't get any funner.
Today being the 10th of April, 2020. Yes, the
Good
quarantine
Friday.
continues. Yes.
No, it's Good Friday.
Good for you.
Yeah, for radio jocks of old, yeah. Good Friday.
Take it easy now.
We have something coming up for your dog or your cat or whatever that will probably brighten your day.
Cool.
Something internet accessible that involves the magic of today's photographic manipulation stuff. Without being, I don't want to give it away right now.
It's hysterical.
Some interesting stuff in sports too.
Couple things we'll talk about. We'll talk about it. Dana White tried to get away with a little something. They're gonna
No.
talk about bad optics. Yeah. They're
Okay.
Not gonna be able to do that.
And for whatever reason, OJ keeps popping up during
Doesn't
this
he
thing.
shut his mouth?
Well, I don't know. We're one of those shows that have refused.
Hey, Twitter world, this is yours truly. Now, coming soon to Twitter, you'll get to read all my thoughts and opinions on just about everything.
Yeah.
This should be a lot of fun.
Here it comes.
I got a little getting even to do.
Jesus!
Hey, Twitter world, this is
right.
yours
Oh,
truly.
sorry.
Chick, do you follow him on Twitter?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
I do not either.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The fact that he's on there is
Yeah.
disturbing.
I'll look stuff up if he says something, but
Well,
He should be studied by a team, or as Jerry Seinfeld said, they need to send him to Austria and study there under those psychiatrists, because he's really,
he's convinced he didn't.
yes,
Of course he is.
Where he is, it was a tragedy.
He could
and
probably-
very sad.
I think it's probably useful in the evolution of the human brain to be able to
Right.
be
Block that out.
self-deluded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably an interesting. But we have OJ weighing in on some things about the coronavirus, because when he's not searching for the real killer, he's a amateur microbiologist. I'm sure.
Okay.
One could.
Well, I mean, the list of people that have been picked up and questioned for that murder are none, but still.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The NBA has come up with a unique way, something I'm sure Tom's going to love it.
I am so excited. 'Cause I have been talking about this forever, and I have an even better idea for this.
This is going to be good for about maybe 1 or 2 Saturdays or Sundays.
Well, they need
That's
something.
about
This is such a great idea, and I've got a way to expand this. Do you want to go ahead and lay it out
Josh,
for everybody?
you ready?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yes.
We'll let you be the judge.
And I have been talking about doing this forever. During and they finally did some stuff for All-Star breaks, etc. I love this idea.
Several NBA stars will face off in a game of social isolated horse. That will be televised on ESPN.
We've got the best players in the world, and they're going to have Tamika
they're going to be
Catchings
in
will
their
be in
driveways.
The single elimination competition will feature 8 players taking shots from their own gyms.
Oh, gyms, of course.
Well, it would be funny if a couple of them were in a driveway.
that would be hysterical.
Starting player. Well, now that'd be something. If
Yeah.
you write of course with the social distancing, but I guess you could, send 25 words or less while you want Steph Curry to play horse in your driveway. That'd be kind of something.
You don't think any NBA player has a hoop in their driveway?
Oh, I bet they do. In fact, I know one that used to.
They have to.
Well, no, to have Steph Curry come to your house.
I knew one that
yeah.
I absolutely know one that had one in his driveway.
Good.
The starting player will be decided by a
Makes me
coin
happy.
toss called by the more senior player, and competitors will have to describe each shot attempt before taking them. The first matchup will feature Utah Jazz point guard Mike Conley and
Friend of the show.
yeah.
WNBA Hall of Fame legend Tamika Catchings.
Another friend of the show.
The competition will air starting this Sunday.
this
the
a great idea?
semifinals. Nope. And championship scheduled for April 16th.
This is a great idea. It's fun.
Other competitors.
Everybody can
include-
relate to it. Although it might be a little awkward if Tomika gets down to HOR.
Okay. Grow up.
Call her a whore might be a little awkward in the air.
I'm glad you actually said that because I didn't know where you were going with it.
Every time as a kid you'd play horse.
Of course you did.
Hey, you're a whore. You
Yes,
never did
as a
that?
kid.
Well,
you ever play horse?
Of course, but it wasn't with Hall of Fame and WNBA star Tamika Catchings and call her a whore.
I'm saying they're going to have to be very careful they don't do that.
She used to be a friend of the show.
They probably won't. They'll just say, he's at R or HOR. Yeah.
But the one thing that surprises me about this,
What?
I am surprised that they didn't sell this. In other words, instead
Well, I
of
don't
being
think it's over yet. I
horse,
mean-
why didn't they make it?
Oh.
I don't know, like Pepsi.
Oh, I get it. Sure.
P&P.
Yeah.
That
Other
would-
Pizza Hut.
competitors include Bulls guard Zach LaVine. Well, that's a small pamphlet.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
We've got a leaflet.
You know what I'm talking about. There's Levine.
Classic joke.
Yes.
Levine, Hank Greenberg, and Sandy Koufax. Chauncey Billups, Paul Pierce, Chris Paul.
Doesn't Chauncey Billups sound like it's a
Trey
obviously
Young.
great player? Sounds like the name of a butler.
Oh,
Yes, it does.
I say Billups. Have you seen Billingsley?
He drives one of
Chauncey?
those cool cabs in London. Dunking is prohibited.
Do bring the call around, Billups.
Dude, Chauncey, the first player in each game. You know, that's the story on Chauncey is that my daughter's. I wanted to name her Chauncey.
I love that name.
I did too.
Oh, I do too. That's a great name.
It was vetoed.
Yeah, they had to go with Vito.
Yeah. Veto.
State Farm would have been a longer game.
Yep.
No, State Farm. Just have horse.
No,
State,
State, horse, same number of letters.
Yeah.
State,
No.
State and
Pretty
horse.
simple math.
Oh boy.
Okay. All right.
Horse, H-O-R-S-E.
Yes.
State, S-T-A-T-E.
But I thought State Fun. They'll donate $200,000 on behalf of participants to charities focused on virus response efforts.
This is a great idea.
There you go.
It's fun, yeah.
It's silly.
And they're not playing with. They're not in the same court, so they don't have to sanitize the ball after each play.
Why are you sanitizing all of a sudden over there?
Because I had to touch
sky.
some papers that were dropped off a few minutes ago.
What filthy coworker dropped those
What
off.
filthy employee? No, again, the logic is you have to assume everyone else
Here we
has it,
go.
and you have to assume that you have it. Did you get your face mask that I had Amy make everybody?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
thank
did.
you very much.
I think
Yours are
it's-
pink, Christy.
I noticed that.
I think
Thank
it
you.
smells like cake.
She is my
maybe
cake
not.
lady.
Maybe not. Doesn't somebody have French vanilla?
They're all.
Maybe
they're-
Yeah, somebody has a new
somebody
coffee in
something,
here.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm out of my coffee, so I'm trying this stuff.
That would have been fun if she'd made us a cake shaped like a mask.
I can commission that. I'm sure she's got some
Be a little
spare
thin,
time.
Oh, I mean that's okay.
These are substantial masks, and you can reuse these. You wash them. Is that right?
You're supposed to wash them after you use them.
Yeah. Well, that's what
But again,
I said.
how are you?
God, what a jerk!
No, after each use.
Each use?
Yeah.
Each and every single use when you go outside, you're supposed to throw in
And
the
you're
wash.
not supposed to touch the mask part. You're only supposed to touch the ear elastic part. And again, my suggestion is if you have to go anywhere, which I'm hoping not to go anywhere, in the near
Everyone
future,
else is too.
thank you. You want to wear ski goggles or protective eyewear of some sort, just so you don't touch your face.
Goggles outside. Okay.
I have an extra pair. I'm going to get you an extra pair of ski goggles, Pat.
All right, I
There's
guess.
probably a Pat. There's probably some in my garage over there where you live.
Okay.
Once again, Pat living at my old house.
I'm starting to think this whole thing's fake.
Yeah, I think so too.
What thing's fake?
The coronavirus. I read an article online last night. That
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Pretty compelling evidence.
Oh, jeez, Josh.
Want me to
Something about the 5G rollout and the virus.
Right, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a shovel? You may need it to help go dig graves right now. There's a small island off New York where they're trying to
Well,
bury
who knows
it.
what really did it?
Yeah, okay. Thank you for your skepticism.
Anybody who
I love this thing about playing horse. I think it's really cool.
Well, good for you.
It's a smart idea. Is
Enjoy
there an
watching.
equivalent of this in hockey? Could they do something
they could have skills competitions,
Like puck?
but yeah, I mean, you could
like
have
open up like have one guy at each arena? And I don't know, it'd probably be expensive to broadcast, but they could do it all.
yeah, I mean, you'd want a goalie because just shooting at an open net, you can do that from all the way across the ice.
Yeah, right.
and-
Have a goalie, and maybe get a fan as the goalie.
oh, it's kind of fun.
Make it really fun. Don't let them wear any pads.
Yeah. Well, that would be
talking.
really something.
Blood all over the ice.
I'd watch that.
I think this horse thing from the NBA is a terrific idea. Good for them.
Okay.
People are so desperate to bet.
Yeah, they just want to watch sports
Have you
or something.
That's another story.
Okay.
Yes, we'll come up with that, Tom. Calm down.
He's really irritated, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know why.
No sleep last night?
You're off and running. You're down the street. You're
You think you could beat me at a game of horse?
without question. Yes, even at my advanced age. And by the way, people very seldom get to my age. Yeah, pretty sure.
Well, you have a bad,
Yeah, got a
you have a
bad
bad
arm.
arm. You can't.
Well, he couldn't shoot basketball, but he could shoot basketball.
Oh, okay.
He looked
that true?
like he was going through some kind of spasm every time. Just kind of,
My brothers had the basketball gene.
well, they were 8 feet tall, and I need to talk to you about that.
They're both excellent basketball players. But we would play horse all the time, or the abbreviated version called pig.
Sure. Yeah.
I thought
We play that.
I thought you fellows played Pamby,
No,
as in namby-pamby.
and then we had a special thing called mat time.
Mat time.
There was a
really?
doormat in the corner of the driveway.
Sure.
And if you lost the game, you could go over there, and if you sunk it from the mat, you got to start fresh.
Oh, I love that. I love stuff like that.
It was the equivalent of like a 3-pointer plus. It was
You kind of buy yourself back in.
Yes, it was great.
Yeah.
Now maybe the NBA. Maybe I should call the NBA and maybe they can come up with mat time.
I'm sure they're waiting for your input.
I think
Sounds like a preschool thing.
this is
It's
a great
time for
idea.
mat time.
Well, listen, we got a lot of serious
I thought
business
you
going
were
on out there.
napping with your brothers or something.
We'll try to lighten it up. I could tell you about playing bear man with my brothers. That'll.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Flying around their lake house, totally naked.
Just a cape, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, take your towel. I'll tell you about it later. Right now, I want to remind you about our friends at Napa. A lot of stuff important out there, a lot of essential businesses, and bravo to everybody who's out there doing all this stuff, hauling things, especially, obviously, the healthcare workers and the people that are working the emergency vehicles of all kinds. Everybody's out there that doing their part, and Napa knows that part of that is making sure that your vehicles are running. That's why they're doing their best to keep everything going up and running at Napa Auto Parts stores, Napa Auto Care Centers, and, of course, at NapaOnline.com. Now, you may be at home and thinking, hey, this is a good time to get some work done on my car. Well, how do you do that? You go to NapaOnline.com, get those parts delivered. Napa, here to provide quality parts, superior service to everybody who's on the road, from our good friends at Napa. We've been good friends for a long, long time. They've got something we call Napa Know-How. Once again, Napa Auto Parts Stores, Auto Care Centers, and NapaOnline.com. Thank you very much, Napa. They've got Napa Know-How.
More sports coming up, including an insult for an NFL team that you can fashion it for your own NFL team if you'd like, concerning the virus and social distancing and this and that coming
What
up.
involves insulting NFL teams, better get Kostaki.
Yes, I am.
This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hey, it's Friday, everybody. That's good, right? April 10th. I'm Mark Allison. Yes, we are here live, so that's cool. Hope you're having a great Friday morning. We've got a great show planned for you, including checking in with comedian Drew Hastings, former mayor, current farmer, current author, writing a book about his life. Comedian Drew Hastings, will catch up with him and see how his staying at home is going with his wife and his new child. That'll be fun. Drew Hastings this morning right here on Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hi, everybody. Christy Lee from the Navy Federal Credit Union Entertainment News Desk. Mad Magazine cartoonist Mort Drucker has died in Woodbury, New York at the age of 91. For decades, he made drawings that spoofed politicians, celebrities, and pop culture. His daughter did not disclose the cause of death, but says he took ill last week, having trouble walking and developing breathing problems. He was not tested for COVID-19. Anthrax drummer Charlie Benante says it was an honor to work with Drucker on the band's State of Euphoria album. Drucker drew a cartoon of the Anthrax band members that appears on the back cover of State of Euphoria. Benante tweets that as an artist himself, he used to rush out to buy Mad Magazine to see what Drucker had done. Benante says he cannot express how happy it made him to work with Mr. Drucker later in life. And live scattered around New York, it will be Saturday Night Live. The vulnerable NBC comedy show returns for a new season tomorrow night, but because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the show will be different. How? Well, we're not really sure. The network says when it returns, it will abide by social distancing rules and will have a weekend update news segment, original content from cast members. But it's unclear how SNL will navigate its way around the social distancing rule public health officials have imposed to help reduce the spread of the coronavirus. And that's your news. I'm Christy Lee. More of the Bob and Tom Show coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob and Tom.
Hey, Coach.
Well, due to coronavirus, our Little League draft has been postponed again.
Yeah.
Little League draft.
I tell my kids, take this time during quarantine to figure out what you're going to be. I'll say there's only two kinds of kids in baseball. The first kind wants to win, knows he's going to win. The second kind of kid knows he's not going to win. He just wants to show up every year and be seen. Then he drops out. He's called Bernie Sanders. You understand?
Bob and Tom in the morning and highlights all day long.
The Bob and Tom Show, weekday mornings at 6 a.m. Eastern on Bob and Tom 24/7.
Hi, man, this is Donnie Baker. You're listening to Bob and Tom 24/7.
I love those funny video shows, I just can't get enough. The cavalcade of concussions, boy, that's funny stuff. They're tripping in Poughkeepsie, they're slipping in Des Moines, but the ones that win $10,000 are all trauma to the groin. A trauma to the groin, boys, trauma to the groin. And nothing's quite as funny as a trauma to the groin. There is no wit more pretty, there is no joke divine, or limerick delicious as a trauma to the groin. Now Jacob was a small boy in a t-ball league, and his father stood behind him, coaching to succeed. The boy, he swung with all his might. You should have seen Dad's face when the bat connected between first and second base. Oh, trauma to the groin, boys, trauma to the groin. Nothing's quite as funny as a trauma to the groin. There is no wit more pretty, there is no joke divine, or limerick delicious as a trauma to the groin. We wanted to collect the check from those video fools, so we taught our 3-year-old the running headbutt to the jewels. Too bad we left the lens cap on the camera by mistake, 'cause Grandpa weren't too happy about the second take. Oh, trauma to the groin, boys, trauma to the groin. Nothing's quite as funny as a trauma to the groin. There is no wit more pretty, there is no...
622 at Q95. It's the Bob and Tom Show. Yes, we're here, but yeah, we're nuts. We're crazy. We're nuts.
We're gonna do a Are You Awake check with comedian Alonzo Bodden in a matter of seconds.
He's right there.
None of us are.
They can't see that.
Since when do you care if they can't? You describe us by varying shades of clothes we're wearing.
Hey, you're yelling.
Sorry.
Alonzo's wearing a red
You're
sweatshirt. We'll get to that in just a second, but first, Christy Lee has an update on the weather.
Q95 Fox 59 weather brought to you by CarX. Sunshine and 50 today, partly cloudy overnight, low 32. Partly cloudy Saturday, high of 60. But on Easter Sunday, we have a 50-50 shot at showers possible and a high of 59. Clear and 33 right now.
Are they still talking snow for Monday?
Yeah, well, they've flurries. There could have been flurries last night. I didn't see any. Did
It's
anybody?
absolutely happening in Wisconsin and Iowa. They're getting
I know, yeah.
Upstate New York had a lot of snow.
Maine got hit. In any event, the continuing grace of God as we enjoy the stellar weather and the plague. Okay, we'll move on. Coming up, your shot at some serious cash. That could cheer you up. How about that? And we'll be getting to the Bob and Tom after party in about 3.5 hours. We certainly look forward to that. Now, we're going to shift gears, and I'll remind you we are worldwide, American Forces Radio, et cetera, et cetera. This is the Bob and Tom Show. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us. We're also right now doing a special broadcast on YouTube and receiving emails from all over the world, including Antarctica. So that's a very unusual and very cool. Now, in the studio, there are 4 of us in the big studio, and we're all at least 10 feet apart, observing social distancing. Ace Cosby's over there, our engineer. Hey. Chick McGee is directly across the way. Josh Arnold's over there in the sidekick chair. This is Tom speaking. In the glass booth over there at the kids' table, it's Pat Godwin. Hello. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you.
Christy Lee has her own big room. It's the performance room. Now it's officially the Navy Federal Credit Union newsroom.
Welcome.
Dean's back there. A couple of other folks simmering in their
own juices.
Little windowless quarters elsewhere in the building.
Poor Mark.
And then over there, I can see on camera, I'm assuming it is home. It is the comedian Alonzo Bodden. Hey, Alonzo, how are you?
What's up, Tom? How you doing?
Good. I actually, we've talked years ago about the fact that your name, Alonzo, became a lot cooler thanks to the NBA several years ago. And
yes,
did you
Alonzo
hear?
Morning.
Yeah. Did you hear the news that the NBA is going to be playing a special event? This sounds like a joke. They're going to be playing horse.
I heard about that. I don't know if I can watch it. You know, I don't know if like we've been quarantined here in LA for about 3.5 weeks. I haven't reached the professional horse watching level of quarantine.
No, I don't agree. I'm a huge horse fan.
Tom is beside himself with
He's so
excitement.
excited.
I grew up playing this. Both of my brothers were very good basketball players. One played in college. I was not good, but I occasionally could beat them at horse. So I'm a
Let
big
me ask
fan.
you this: yes or no? Did you shoot your free throws underhand?
No.
Come on.
No,
you
no.
look like an underhander to
No,
me.
never.
A Rick Barry to me.
Now, during a game of horse, you can do that.
Sure.
That's an option.
Heck yeah.
But
I wonder if an NBA player is going to do that. Is somebody in the NBA going to go old school, go Rick Barry?
Yeah.
And, well, first of all, how many people in the NBA probably even know who Rick Barry is?
Good point.
Yeah.
But to go underhand would be absolutely hilarious. And I'm sure that's going to get you an H in a few leagues.
yeah, and Tamika Catchings is playing, so there'll be women involved. Obviously, I expressed some concern that I hope the announcer doesn't say when she has HOR. Yikes!
Oh man,
That's what he's going to say. She has HOR.
yeah.
They're not going to go with
what he's going to say, or that goes away. Professional horse.
I think it's great. What I think they should do is add some of the greats, like, for example, see if Mr. Larry Bird would play against somebody. Get some of the classic greats of the NBA. A lot of them around still have their skill set.
Larry used to shoot even, like not that
I mean,
distant.
if it was Larry Bird taking on one of the like taking on Mike Conley, or that would be so cool.
Or Larry taking on Michael Jordan.
Okay, Tom. Now, you realize those commercials he and Magic used to do when it was like off of the bus, or off of the building, after sport. You understand that was fake, Tom. They didn't really make those shots.
That's what you think this is going to be.
I hate to ruin this for you.
Well, I was saying earlier that self-delusion is very important. That's how OJ keeps going.
I love it. They'll bring in the old warriors. They'll bring in the classic greats. They'll bring in Magic, and they'll bring in Bird, and
Shaquille.
then some 22-year-old will dunk. And that'll be like, all right, there's your H.
They're not allowed to
See,
dunk.
here's the thing: there's no dunking.
Yeah, no dunking allowed.
No dunking rule has been.
I think they'd get a huge audience if they had Larry Bird or Michael. Can you imagine if Larry Bird and Michael Jordan took on a couple guys?
Sure, people would watch.
And again, here's the thing: they say no dunking, which I get, but when they do the NBA All-Star Weekend, what are people watching? Are they watching the shooting contest, or are they watching the dunk contest? I mean, that's going to be, people are going to want to see it, especially with some of these young players, like Zion, who's already tearing down rims. They're going to want to see that. But I won't know. I'll find out in the highlights the next day.
Okay. All right. So now, are you in your apartment right now?
I'm in the house. I'm in the bedroom, yeah.
Is there anybody else there?
No, just me.
So you've been by yourself for 3 weeks?
No. My girl comes over.
Oh, here we
she
go.
comes over sometimes. She doesn't live here, but we're risking visiting one another. So
okay.
Is visiting? Is that the verb you want, Alonzo?
That's what we're going to go with, chicken.
Okay.
Do you leave the mask on? Is the mask on during the visits?
Absolutely.
That's somewhat limiting.
Just like always.
I have a suit, if you must know.
Alonzo Bodden is our guest. Alonzo's a longtime friend of the show. You probably hear him if you ever listen to that NPR show.
Wait.
I know the title. No.
Yeah, wait, that's what I was doing.
No. I know the title.
Alonzo is doing a Q&A stream with our friend comedian John Heffron. Is that tonight? Am I getting this right?
Yeah, that's going to be tonight, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific.
Where is Heffron? Is he there in L.A.?
He lives in Detroit.
Right.
Yeah, so he's going to be home in Detroit. So we're going to be, like everything else now, bouncing around the country in a Zoom meeting, waiting for someone to Zoom bomb us.
Yeah. Well, ain't that the truth?
Yeah, that happened. Some famous thing. There's some naked guy. And,
Right.
I mean, you got to Alonzo. You got to hand it to a guy that's a flasher that has entered contemporary culture enough to go, I'm going to flash during a world crisis. That's how much I'm into this.
But aren't we to the point where, after everything that's gone on and stuff, and we're, there's a naked guy.
Yeah, whatever.
So what? Yeah, move on. Next.
Those and what's even more fascinating to me, the people in the store licking things. Like, what goes through your mind? You're like, let me go down to the store and lick some produce, and they get arrested for terrorism and be in jail for the rest of my life, right? They're charging. I mean, they're charging them with terrorism. That's a serious crime.
It's okay with me to do that. I think that what should be going through their mind is a bullet. That show Judge Judy, the reason they don't do Judge Tom because my bailiff would have a rifle or a pistol.
Yeah, that'd be the real crime.
Now, once again, Alonzo Bodden.
No time for an appeal with Judge Tom.
No,
quitting.
There might be a banana peel you could slip on and embarrass yourself before we kill you. Alonzo Bodden, John Heffron. John, he actually won Last Comic Standing many years ago. He used to have the funniest thing. Did you ever see that deck of cards that he had? It was called something like the That Guy.
Yeah.
And it was
That Guy game.
It was the That Guy game.
You'd
And it was
go out in public and look for that guy.
You'd go out in public and you'd be given a card. You'd have to find, for example, the
frat boy guy.
There'd be backwards hat guy. There'd be ponytail guy.
Yeah.
There'd be shouldn't be dancing in public guy. Those were so funny. John Heffron is great, and it'll be a question and answer thing. Now, are you questioning each other, or are you taking questions from the crowd?
No, we're taking questions from anyone who wants to, type in or call in or whatever. We're doing it with Helium Comedy Clubs, and it's a live stream thing to raise money for the employees of the clubs.
Great idea.
So all the money goes to, the wait staff and the kitchen staff and so on. And we'll answer, they moderate it. They have the different club managers, and we'll answer whatever they ask. Heffron and I, we have a long history of comedy competitions. We went up against each other on Star Search. We went up against each other repeatedly on Last Comic Standing. He won season 2. I won season 3. We have agreed to never compete again and to only work together.
Great. Yeah.
I see. I think he is absolutely terrific.
He's a great guy.
We're speaking with Alonzo Bodden, who, among other things, inherited the voice of Jeffrey Holder, the famous
cola nut guy.
The famous cola nut guy.
Sure.
When you heard him laughing a few seconds ago, it's somewhat disturbing, really. It sounds like you're about to be killed.
Cola nutted?
This is your last chuckle.
I am actually auditioning for the job of bailiff in the Court of Tom.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. You're very imposing. I think you would do a great job.
Alonzo, who's our next? That'd be great. I could see that. You too? Yes. Yeah.
Now, Alonzo, I think I'm okay in asking you this. You have spoken for many years about some issues you had when you were, I think, still working as an aircraft parts builder or something, and you had some issues with some.
We could talk about that.
Well, I guess my question is: are you a meeting guy? And in this situation, do you have to attend meetings online?
Yeah, I mean, it's another place they're doing Zoom meetings. I've been to a couple, and it's just, it's like what we're doing here, a bit bigger, more people, but they're just running the meetings online. What fascinates me is how quickly that went up, and it was like, oh yeah, because we got a lot of druggies working tech. So they were like, oh yeah, we can set up a network, no problem. We just need a network. Yeah, we got that.
Yeah. What I want to see, I'm curious. I don't want to see it, but I'm curious to see, for example, I know that the liquor sales went up literally 55% 2 weeks ago. I saw that stat.
That sounds low to me.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering about the guys that were trying to quit smoking.
Oh, not a good time.
I think a lot of people probably, something? I'm starting again. If for no other reason than I can go outside and get away from the kids for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It'll wait a couple months.
in New Zealand, the adult toy business.
Yes, we have that. I pulled that story this morning.
We sure do.
The adult toy business, and also in Britain and other places, skyrocketed.
Huh.
So when this is all over, men may not be needed anymore.
Oh, that's stop.
Yeah, not like now.
You're always needed.
Once again, our guest is Alonzo
Somebody has
Bodden.
to kill spiders.
Alonzo Bodden is our guest. Mr. Bodden, along with John Heffron, doing a special event tonight, 8:30 Eastern time. And how do they find it, Alonzo? Do they Google your name or?
No, heliumcomedy.org.
Okay,
heliumcomedy.org, and they'll have the login info, and you can join through that website.
Okay, good. Everything else going okay? Have you been doing any auditioning? I mean, not recently, but before this hit the fan, have you been doing any?
Well,
TV
I'm going to tell you, and this is a funny one. I did have an audition that I had to self-tape. Now, my agent sent it to me, and I said, "You understand Hollywood is closed. They're not producing anything." But this is what's cool. They're making a movie about why am I blanking on his name? The quarterback from the Rams who was working in a grocery store.
Oh, Kurt Warner.
Warner, yeah. Sorry, I blanked for a minute.
No.
So they're doing the Kurt Warner. So they send me an audition to be a coach, and I told my agent, I said, "You understand? They're just going to hire an ex-NFL coach for this gig, right?" I mean, but that's usually what they do. But it was fun. So, I'm doing some auditioning there. And then I still do the voiceover auditions. Those I can do from home. And I don't know what Jeffrey Holder did that I'm not doing, because he got the gig and I didn't. So
you've got the voice.
I don't know.
And when you
I
said
wish they do the Jeffrey Holder story on radio.
Yeah, he was the cola nut guy. What else was he famous for? He was in some Broadway show forever too.
Well, he was, and I found this out when he passed away, and I read his obituary because I never knew this. He was a Broadway choreographer. He actually came from dance, and his big thing was he did a James Bond movie. He was the bad guy.
That's right.
In a James Bond movie. I think that's what made him really famous. And then he used to do a lot of the radio tags for like different cities. You know, like you're listening to
whatever
JZZ, Smooth Jazz Phoenix. You know, he had a lot of those gigs, all kind of work that I can't get. He did.
Well, Alonzo, you said earlier Hollywood is closed. It's closed to a lot of people for a lot of reasons, and always has been. We got to run here. Alonzo Bodden and John Heffron, two great comedians tonight, and I want to get this right. It's what is it? Heliumcomedy.org.
You got it. Heliumcomedy.org, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. Go to the website. They'll have the login info. Send us questions about comedy, about anything and everything. We will answer. We'll have a good time. And again, it's to raise money for the club employees who are just not working right now. So it's a good cause.
Well, last question. Do you think you could beat Chick McGee in a game of horse?
Yes, I am confident. Oh, really? Nothing personal, Chick.
Oh, no.
Nothing personal.
Okay, next time you're here, there'll be a $100 prize. We'll set up the basket outside.
We'll shoot the rock, baby.
There we go.
Right.
Thanks, Alonzo. Great talking to you.
Thank you, guys. Stay safe. Take care.
Yes, you too. Thank you.
That is comedian Alonzo Bodden, good friend of the show, and often featured on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Yep.
Which,
he's terrific.
when I went to say it, total blank in my head. Right now, I want to tell you about a couple things. Did you see that? Well, first of all, there are a lot of scams going on with coronavirus stuff. Be very careful what you open in an email. Be very careful, because there's all kinds of stuff that they're trying to stick into your computer. The next thing you know, someone's monitoring your email, and then the next thing you know, your identity's stolen, which is very, very bad. And a lot of people, they don't know their identity's stolen until way down the road. So this is where LifeLock comes in. LifeLock knows that cybercrime is affecting lots of lives all over the place, especially now. So be extra, extra cautious, because there are going to be a lot of checks floating around, as you know, coming from the government, including tax refunds and a lot of those things that are being put out there to support people that are going through these hard times. So here's my advice. Check out LifeLock, and they'll be looking for a wide range of identity threats. For example, your sale on the dark web. So check it out. It's very inexpensive, by the way. And now it's even more inexpensive because they've got this special offer. Now, I'll tell you this. Nobody can prevent all identity theft. Nobody can monitor every transaction at every business all the time. But LifeLock is out there looking. They can see threats you might miss on your own. Join right now. 25% off your first year if you use the code TOM25. That'll help us. That'll help you. 1-800-LifeLock or merely lifelock.com. Takes you just a few minutes to get signed up. That's TOM25. Lifelock.com for 25% off. Coming in sports.
NFL and their virtual draft, the plans for that. And Goodell says he'd like to start the season on time. And more about the NBA horse competition.
I'm so excited.
Coming to a TV near you.
This is the Bob and Tom Show.
Just got to get a hold of us. Call, fax, mail, or email. Get all the contact information you need at bobandtom.com. This is the Bob and Tom Show.